Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Bearenstain Bears and the Papa's Day Surprise. Some Papa Bears are embarrassed by sentiment and pretend not to want a Father's Day present. Papa Bear is a bear of many opinions. He has an opinion about all sorts of things. He has an opinion about the best way to fell trees. He has an opinion about predicting the weather. He has an opinion about the best kind of honey. And though in his opinion Mother's Day is a fine and proper holiday and a worthy tribute to the institution of motherhood, he didn't think up much of Father's Day. That's fine with us, said Mama. It's a busy time with the quilting bee coming up. And with the school year ending, the Cubs are going to be pretty busy too. Thence agreed. We are not going to make a fuss about Father's Day. A few days later, Papa was fixing a creaky front step. Mom was working on her tulip bed. A baby honey bear was playing in the grass. Above their heads, a pair of robins was hard at work building a nest. This fuss about Father's Day is a lot of nonsense, said Papa. Look at that Daddy Robin helping that Mama Robin build a nest. He doesn't need to have a fuss made over him. He's happy to do his job building the nest, sitting on the eggs when the time comes, and digging up worms when the chicks hatch. That Daddy Robin doesn't need a special day, and neither do I. Yes, dear, said Mama. Papa was about to continue when he heard a noise in his shop. Hey, he said, there's somebody rooting around my shop. If it's those pesky raccoons again, But it wasn't raccoons, it was Brother and Sister Bear. What are you two up to? Asked Papa. We're getting some stuff for our school projects, said Brother. That's right, said Sister. A school project. Brother was holding a piece of special paper that Papa used for his furniture designs. Sister was holding a roll of paper Papa put down when he was painting. Okay, said Papa, just so it has nothing to do with Father's Day. Is that clear? Very clear, said Cubs. But as Father's Day drew closer, talk about it was very much in the air, and on the air as well, on the radio, on television, at the mall, and just about everywhere else. Just as the drip, drip, drip of water can wear away solid rock, the constant talk about Father's Day began to wear Papa's opinion of Father's Day. A couple days before Father's Day, Mom and Papa were in the living room. Mama was putting the finishing touches on a quilt. You know, said Papa, I think maybe I'm being a little selfish about Father's Day. It's a lot of nonsense, of course, but Cubs are Cubs, and they want to make a little fuss about it. Sorry, dear, said Mama. I was counting the stitches and didn't hear a word you were saying. Then the phone rang and Mom picked it up. Yes, she said. This is she. Yes, Mrs. Bruin. It's all arranged. See you there. Goodbye. What was that all about? Asked Papa. Just some quilting business, said Mama. By the way, said Papa, where are the Cubs? They're over at Cousin Fred's working on a big scout project, said Mama. Oh, said Papa, I thought they were working on a big school project. That's right, said Mama, it's a big school and scout project. Papa would never have admitted it, but he was beginning to hope that Mom and the Cubs wouldn't worry about his opinion regarding Father's Day. He even looked in drawers and closets for hidden presents, but there wasn't any. Now was the day before Father's Day. Papa was on his way to the shop when he noticed the Daddy Robin. Mama Robin had laid eggs and Daddy was sitting on them. Mr. Robin, said Papa, I think Mama and the Cubs are up to something, and I know what it is. It's Father's Day. They're going to surprise me. Mr. Robin didn't say anything. He just sat there. Papa knew that Mom and the Cubs were up to something. They were pretending to skip Father's Day. Well, two could play at that game. Tomorrow morning, when he woke up with a breakfast in bed and lots of presents and cards on Father's Day, he would pretend to be surprised. But the next morning, he didn't have to pretend. He really was surprised. There were no breakfast in bed. There was no gifts and cards. But wait a minute, what was that delicious smell coming from the kitchen? It was his favorite food, French fried honeycomb. There was going to be a Father's Day breakfast, it just wasn't going to be in bed. But the French fried honeycomb wasn't for him at all. Mama explained that it was for a gift from a new family down the road. Papa went out and sat on the front steps. The daddy robin flew by. He was carrying a worm to his newly hatched chicks. Happy Father's Day, Mr. Robin, said Papa, for all the good it's going to do us. At that, Mama and the cubs came down from the front steps. Where are you going? Asked Papa. We're all going. What about breakfast? We're all going for brunch at Grismore Grill. Huh? Said Papa. The Grismore Grill, please, said the cubs as they piled in the car. When they arrived, folks were lined up at the entrance. Look, said Papa, there's a sign over the door that says Welcome Dads. So there is, said Mother with a grin. Big grin. There was a much bigger sign inside. It said, Welcome to the Papa's Day Surprise. It was painted on the roll of paper the cubs had gotten for the school project, and there was a stage with a long table. Go ahead, Papa, said the cubs, up on the stage with the other papas. He found a chair with his name on it on the long table. Other papas were on the stage with him. Louis Bruin's papa, Cousin Fred's papa, even Too Tall's papa. Other papas filled the seats, and the food, all Papa's favorite, French fried honeycomb, honey-cured salmon, and honeyed squash. Someone began to speak. It was Mayor Honeypot. Now we shall hear from those who have put this wonderful surprise together. Our first speakers will be Brother and Sister Bear. Brother and Sister cleared their throats and read a poem. It was on the special paper they take from Papa's shop. To the best Papa Bear in the world, you are big and strong and true, and no matter what you do, we know we can depend on you. You cheer us on when we're glad, you cheer us up when we're sad. You are always here for us to help, advise, and care for us. Happy Father's Day. Papa looked over at the audience, but he could hardly see. His eyes were misty, and he had a lump in his throat as big as a cantaloupe. After Brother and Sister read their poem, it was Lizzie Bruin's turn to say something about her dad. After Lizzie came Cousin Fred. As the cubs read their tributes, Paul thought of all the wonderful moments he had shared with his family. Well, they weren't always wonderful, but they were certainly moments. Suddenly there was a sound of applause and cheering. It brought Papa and back to here, and now the Papa's Day surprise. Cubs and their mamas were on their feet. It had been a wonderful party and a wonderful Father's Day. These are from past Bearenstain Bear books. The guests headed for their homes. Cubs, said Papa as he drove down the hill to their treehouse home, I want to thank you for the lovely poem. Mama helped us with it, said Brother. Also, said Papa, I want to thank you for the Papa's Day surprise. It was a wonderful gift. That, said Sister, was a gift for all Papas. We and Mama have a special gift just for you. Just for me, said Papa. He pulled to a stop at the treehouse. He hurried in the front steps, through the front door, and into the living room. What he saw what was waiting for him, he could hardly believe his eyes. A bear lounger, he cried, just what I've always wanted. It was a special chair that you could adjust up and down. It was a perfect chair for Papa. Baby Honey began to cry. She was hungry. It was also the perfect place to feed Baby Honey. Mama and the cubs watched with big smiles as Papa sat back in his new bear lounger and gave Baby Honey her bottle. And that's the end of the story and the book. Thanks for listening.